"Let's get out of here," Rob shouted. They all turned to leave, and as they did, there was a loud bang right next to a pitch-black passageway, no more than 5 meters from where Andrew had been standing. Harry yelled out in shock. Rob followed in turn. The banging and moaning was everywhere, suffocating. Was there more than one? Andrew's first reaction was to pick up a large rock and throw it into the darkness. But in doing so, he broke loose a large support beam in the corner of the passageway. A small cluster of rocks fell from the roof, followed by a few large ones. "Oh no," Andrew cried. "We need to get out of here now!" The mine started shaking. A huge section of the roof fell in and completely blocked one of the passageways, crushing the knocker as it fell. The sound was horrendous. The boys ran out of the mine shaft and into the dock. More collapsing and screaming followed as part of the mine caved in on itself. The boys didn't look back once.
Answer phone again? Really? Okay. It was really good talking to you last week. I know Rachel misses your voice. We've been thinking maybe visiting. Or maybe somehow you could come to us. Anyway, let me know.
Did I ever tell you that my sister suffered from dementia? She was only 28 years old when she was diagnosed. I'm sure I don't need to tell you how incredibly rare that is. It sparked something in me, a longing to find a cure, and with that I began to focus my research on dementia, eventually leading me here. Had my experiments been around at the time, I'm sure we could have prevented the inevitable. I'm sure we could have saved her. She died when she was 39. You would have liked her. Listen. Whatever you may think of me, you're doing a fantastic job here, Thomas. Without you, none of this would have been possible. We wouldn't be this close. I hope that you can find it in your heart to trust me, and to believe when I say that I want to get you out of there as much as I want to save this mind.
flowers in spring are so pretty. That feeling that there's something missing in life.
This was up for sale at the time of the event. The economy was changing, and a decline in milling in Pinwheel meant that fewer people were visiting the village. Restoration procedure fails, my medical career is over. The last 3 years wasted on a false hope. There'd be nothing to show for it, and above all, I feel like I would have let you down as well as myself. You know, you really do remind me of my sister. I'd like to think that if you make it through this, that we might still keep in touch, Thomas. Would that be all right?
Everything is in its right place, but you're not sure if you still fit in with the rest of it.
For this projector, we need to get some cider produced. The scoop mechanism should look a little familiar.
You try to open your mind to new things, but after spending so much time in other countries, you feel the place around you is just a closed book.
We've produced some cider, and now the next step is to bottle it.
An idea can change the way you see everything. Once it's inside you, it all makes sense.
And the last step is to send it off.
Mining, fishing, there's got to be more to life than this.
I'm going to get another bottle of cider here. Just because. This isn't anything that you have to do, but I like to.
On reflection, I think it could have had more to do with the desire to start new life, as opposed to doing what was expected of a person back then. And if I was to bring it into the...
You're still here. You working late, fine?
Yes. Just trying to wrap up this week's notes before the weekend. Shan't be much longer, I wouldn't have thought.
Have fun.
Yeah, I'll try. Give my love to Carol for me.
Will do. Night.
Good night. Where was I? Basically, I think the sacred pendant was kept as a reminder of what gave my patient the courage to leave in the first place. It certainly worked well in our last session. It's a close one, but I think this is joining the others in the positive section.
We'll just give Father Wolstenholme a little more inspiration. I had to go back to the mines to retrieve a blacklight. In the PS4 version, there's a blacklight in this level, but not in PC.
We're getting near to completion, Thomas. This is the closest we've ever been to success. I'm beginning to get nervous. What if this doesn't work? Oh, please, for God's sake, be careful. I don't think I can stand you experiencing another relapse again.
Leaving the country and starting a new life together? Not the kind of decision that can be made overnight.
This is where most of Pinwheel's trading was done. Arsenic, tin, apples, and cider were all common exports. Boat repairs also took place from time to time, but for some reason this never became a large port. I wonder what could have happened here.
The first clear thing we have to do for this puzzle is to finish that chalkboard. So this is the little area where they manage this export business. And if there's shipping information to be had, it should be here. There's a few different things to look at in this room, and some of them are relevant and some of them aren't. We've seen that we have a knocker poster, and now we've found a knocker. So knocker pipes must have something to do with this puzzle.
Two mines already made up. This is happening.
The knocker pipes are actually behind a hydraulically or pressure closed door, and we know from the very first part of the game how to open those.
Papers to sign, things to pack, people to see and say goodbye to. We're really doing this.
Of course, you'll need the correct knocker code, and the one we want is send it to docks ready for export or something.
Climbing our favorite hill and looking out over our favorite view. Closing our garden gate for the last time. Onto greener pastures.
And this is the last knocker statue.
Running all the way home, crying and in shock at what they had just seen. When they got home, their mother was standing outside the door waiting for them. "And where on earth have you been?" she asked with a disappointed tone, as if I didn't already know. "Mom, I'm sorry," cried Andrew. "We went to the mine by the dock, and there was—" "What have I told you about going down there?" she interrupted. She could see how shaken up they were. "I know, I'm sorry, but we found something down there." "What did you find?" asked their mother with a disbelieving smirk on her face. "We found the knocker. There were loads of them. We managed to get away, but that will teach you a lesson. I'm glad you're scared," she barked. "You know you're not supposed to go down there. You didn't see the knocker. But I'm glad it worked." "What? What do you mean?" asked Andrew. His brothers still catching their breath. "We did see the knockers. There were loads of them." "No, you didn't," she replied. "I saw you sneaking off down the road earlier on, and I knew what you were up to. And when your father got home from the pub, he was so angry with you, he decided to follow you. Him and his mates went up there to teach you a lesson. And I can see it's worked. Never go down there again." The boys all stood still, their faces pale and grim. All they could hear were the screams and the rocks crushing bone and flesh. "Father?"